So this is our ash tree. This is our most common tree in Ireland. It's the Irish, what's known as the Irish weed. Of course, everybody knows it's used for, you know, making hurls. It's actually a, sorry?
Irish ash.
But it's, as far as I'm concerned, most people say that oak is the king of the trees, but this is the king of the trees as far as I'm concerned. It's got more uses than oak. As I say, it's used for hurleys and it's used for hockey sticks and all that sort of stuff. This one wouldn't be any good for hurleys because it's got no toes on it. Hurley sticks have to have these nice toes that sweep out from the side of the tree. The wood is has got a really tensile strength, so you can make all sorts of things from it. It's been used over the years for making boats, for making the ribs of boats. It's been used for making aircraft. In the Second World War they used the ash frames to actually make bombers. Lancaster bombers were made from ash frames. Sports cars have been made out of the chassis of sports cars, all sorts. Going back in its history, in Scandinavia this was known as Jagdrisel, and it was known as the tree of the world. And it's said that Odin, who was the Norse god, made the first man out of a piece of ash from Jagdrisel. And in Viking and Norse mythology, the ash tree was the tree of the world because the branches reached up into the sky to where the gods sat, and the roots went down into the underworld, into, you know, Hades and so on. So it was a worship tree in Scandinavia, and the trunk of the tree where the strength is was supposed to represent the strength of man, because obviously the Vikings were a warrior society. So it's a very important tree. Timber wise, it's the best timber you can get to burn. You can burn ash straight from the tree, whether it's green. It'll burn just as well wet as it does dry. And then there's the old saying about the weather. If the oak comes out into leaf before the ash, you're in for a splash. If the ash comes out before the oak in leaf, then you're in for a soak. So you have to make your minds up whether we're going to get a splash or a soak this summer, but keep an eye on the oaks and the ashes.